Hello everyone. In this part, we will learn about some basic mathematical formulas. So first we will learn about count formula. So we have count. Suppose that in our Google Sheet, we have number of persons or number of students, but we don't know that how many students are there. Suppose that if we want to count that how many students are there in that particular Google spreadsheet, then we will use this formula count. Now, what is known as formula? If after any word there is opening parenthesis and there is a closing parenthesis, that word becomes formula, or that is known as a formula. So any word which is having opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis, that will be known as formula. So count will count how many persons or how many items are there in our Google Sheet. Now how the formula can be written? First, this is the example how it will be written. Count, we will write count, then write starting parenthesis, opening parenthesis, and then we'll write starting cell number from which cell we want to count and till which cell we want to count. So first we will write start cell name, and then this is known as colon, and then end cell name, and after that we have to close the parenthesis. So count formula will work like this. Now example is like this: count, and we know how to name the cell. Cell name starts with a letter and end with a row number. It starts with column name and row number. Then we will use colon, and then when again write cell name, that is cell name is column name and row number. So this formula will count that how many persons are there between A1 to A10 cell. So then our next formula will be sum. So it will be written as sum, and then opening parenthesis and close parenthesis. The formula will be sum, opening parenthesis, and then again we'll write start cell name, colon, end cell name. Example is, we will write sum, opening parenthesis. Suppose that we want to count the average mark, or we want to sum the all the sum of total fee collected. Suppose that we in our Google spreadsheet we have fee in front of each student, how much fees a student have submitted. So we want to count that how much fee have been collected by the institution, total fee collected. So what we will do, we will write sum, opening parenthesis, B1 colon B10. So starting from B1 cell to B10 cell, the all the fee which will be available there will be summed up, and we will at the end we will get the total fee. Our next formula will be average. Again, opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis after the average formula name, and then we will write average, opening parenthesis, then start cell name, colon, end cell name, close parenthesis, and then we will write the formula like this: average, opening parenthesis, cell number A1, colon, to cell number A10. So here we can do the average, and we'll end the formula with closing parenthesis. Now let us see it by practical using our previous table. So come to this. This was our previous table. Suppose that we want to calculate that how many students are there in my table. This table is small, so you can see that you can calculate that, oh sir, this starts from 3 and this comes to 12, so there are 10 students, we can tell. But when your table is very large, when it becomes very large, then we cannot calculate easily. Then what we do, we use that formula. So when your table is large enough, then this count function works very effectively. Then we can easily find that how many students are there or how many items are there. So for using that formula, what we will do, we will come to this row number 13, because till row number 12 we have our data of the table, but in row number 13 there is no data. So we will come here and we want to calculate that how many students are there. So we'll come under the B column and in 13th row, and we'll double click here. Now this cell is selected. Now we will write our formula. It will always formula starts with equal to sign. Then we have to use count, so we will write COU. You can see after writing COU, they we get the list of the formula which starts with letter C. We can here find it count. So we either we can click it or we can type it. Both way will work. So now I click this count and you see the formula is written. Opening parenthesis is written. Now what we have to do, we want to calculate from this cell 201 is known as B3, column B and row 3. So this 201 cell is known as B3 and this 210 cell is known as B12. So we want to count the number of students from cell 201 to 2010. So what we will do, we will click this 201 once. You can see here in formula, as and when I click this 201, the name of this cell is written automatically B3. Now after clicking 201, press the left mouse button and drag it to the 210, that is called B12 cell, and release the mouse. You can see automatically the values or cell numbers are added. So B3 is written and then colon and then B12, means from B3 to B12 everything will be counted and result will be displayed. But this formula is not completed yet. So complete the formula, we have to close the parenthesis. So now parenthesis is closed. Now we have to press enter. I have pressed enter. Now as I pressed enter, you can see here the value is written 10. It means there are 10 students. Total number of students are 10. 10 students are there in university student result data sheet. So like this we can use count. Okay, fine. So this count can be implemented on any numerical data, on any numerical column. The formula is always implemented on column, and that column must be numerical type. We can count the text values also. We can count how many students are there in first name column, but the formula will be changed. It is not known as count, it is known as counta. So if we want to count that by name, how many students are there, we don't know number, we don't have number, we just have name, and we want to count that how many names are there. So what we will do, we will again come to row number 13 under first name, column C, and here double click, the cell is selected. Now equal to sign, and then type COUN. You can see here in last it is written count, but this will not work because this column is having text value. So for text value we have to do counta. So we will click counta. After clicking, you see automatically formula name is written and opening parenthesis is written. Now we have to check from which cell to which cell we want to count. So suppose we want to count from C3 cell to C12 cell. So first we'll click on C3 cell where Vipin is written. It is one click. As I clicked here, you can see at formula at the cell that there is written C3, and then we'll drag this to surveys. Now the cell where surveys is written, that is known as C12. Now release my mouse and C12 is written there, but formula is not complete. We have to add the parenthesis, so we will add parenthesis. Now formula is complete. Now press enter button. As I as I pressed enter button, you can see here the result is 10. It means there are 10 students are there in our sheet. Okay, now we will use some formula sum. So we will implement our sum formula on the column fee. We want to calculate that total how much fee is collected till the date. So here either we can manually count this 5,000, 2,000, 3,000, 8,000, or we can use the formula. When the list is too short, you can count it manually. But suppose that there are 10,000 data, 15,000 data, then we cannot do it manually. It will take a long time. So to automate it, we use formula. So we will use some formula. So we will write this formula in column number 13 under under column J, and in row 13, J13. So we will come to this J13 and here double click. This cell is selected and pointer is blinking there. We will start writing formula. So we'll write equal to sign. Okay, then we'll write sum. Here you can see sum has come. We'll click sum. After sum, opening parenthesis is there. Now we have to give the cell range from which cell to which cell we want to do the sum operation or sum function. So we want to sum from J3 to cell number J3 where 5,000 is written, to J12 where 8,000 is written. So we will click cell J3 where 5,000 is written. Once clicked, you can see automatically J3 has come. Now we'll drag with the help of mouse to till J12. Now release the mouse and you can see here it is written J3 colon J12. Okay, so in my fee column all the values are taken, and then this formula is not completed, so we will press closing parenthesis and now press enter. Now as I entered as I pressed enter button, now you can see that here it is written 53,000. Now if you will count it manually, it will come to 15,000. It means total value is, total fee collected is 53,000. Fine. Okay. Now suppose that we want to do that, how much average fee is calculated. What is the average fee submitted by each student? So for doing this, we will come to under this J column, and in 14th row, J14. See here it is, J14 is highlighted. We will double click to enter the formula. Double click. Now enter equal to sign and then start writing AVE, average. You can see here average is there. You click this average. Average formula has been written, opening parenthesis is there. Now we want to do the average from J3 to J12. So we will write, either we can write it manually, either we can write the cell number manually, or there is another way to click that cell. 5,000 is clicked. You can see as I click the 5,000, J3 cell is highlighted. It means in J3 cell 5,000 is there. And then drag this after pressing the left mouse button to the desired position, to till the desired cell. So now I have released the mouse button. Now you can see formula is complete. Average, opening parenthesis, J3 colon J12, but we have to add the parenthesis, so we'll type parenthesis. Now formula is complete. Now hit the enter button and you can see rupees 5,300. It means there are 10 students in our university. They have submitted total fee 53,000, and if you do the average that how much each students have contributed, so average will come out to the 5,300. Now suppose that here in subject 1 column, we want to count that what is the average number that each student has get. So for calculating this, we will click at the cell number F13. Double click F13. This cell number is highlighted. Now press double equal to sign and then start typing average. It has come average here, average. Click this average formula. It has been written average, opening parenthesis, and now uh, you can select that from which cell to which cell you want to apply the average formula. So we want to do the average for cell number F3 to F12. So we'll click F3 and will now drag the mouse till F12. Now you can see the formula F3 colon F12. Now press parenthesis sign, hit enter, and you can see that average marks that each student has got is 82 marks. You can see that is average. You know how we calculate the average. We calculate overall how many numbers, and then we divide it by how many students are there. So total marks divided by how many students are there. So in actual, there are some students which have got 50 marks, 60 marks, 70 marks, but when we calculate average, it comes to 80 marks. So that was all about basic mathematical formula. Now in next video, we'll see some more features, some more interesting features. Till then, we are stopping this. Thank you very much.